After completing this lesson, you'll be able to understand called out views, create a called out view of the core walls, and dimension the core walls. The objective domains covered are 3.1a, use dimensions, and 4.1e, create and manage elevation and called out views. A called out creates a detail at a larger scale. A called out can be rectangular or polygonal to suit your geometry. A called out typically will then contain additional 2D detailing to provide more information about construction details. Go ahead and open up the model 024, creating and managing called out views. The model opens in a 00 ground floor plan. Our first task is to create a call out of our core area. Let's go ahead and zoom into the core area. To create the called out view, select the view ribbon, and here you will find call out. Note that there are two methods to create a call out. For simple geometry, as we have here, we can use a simple rectangular call out, but we also have the ability to sketch a polygonal shape for more complex geometry. In this example here, we'll go ahead and select rectangle. We can then construct a rectangle around our geometry. Once we've constructed this rectangle, we can select the called out fence and utilize the grips here to move the clip planes or reposition the call out head. Once this is done, we can then go ahead and open up the called out view. You'll notice by default that it's named 00 ground floor called out 1. We'll begin by changing the scale factor. On the view control toolbar, you can see the current scale is 1/8 of an inch is equal to 1 foot. We'll go ahead and change this to 1/4 of an inch equals 1 foot. We can then rename the view. So here we'll call this one Core Details. We're now ready to detail our core walls. Let's begin by adding some aligned dimensions to detail the core walls. On the Annotate ribbon, select Aligned Dimension. When adding dimensions, by default, you can select each face of a wall and then place a dimension down. To make our dimensioning more efficient, rather than picking individual references, we can pick entire walls. We can then configure the options. In here, I want to also detail openings, but I want to detail the widths of the openings rather than from the center line of the opening. I also want to be able to obtain intersecting walls, but in this case, I don't want to get intersecting grids. So we can go ahead and select OK. And here now we can pick an entire wall and then place our dimensions down. We'll repeat that on the right hand side over here. When using this method to pick walls, you'll note that sometimes we get dimensions that we don't actually require. For example, here I've got a dimension of 0 inches. We can remove these dimensions by selecting the string of dimensions and then right mouse clicking over the witness line. So here we can delete the witness line. And we can then repeat that in this area here. So we can locate the witness line, right mouse, and delete the witness line. To make the dimensions a little more readable, we can drag the text. So I'm going to select this string of dimensions here, and then I can use the grip here to drag the text to a better location. To further tidy up the dimensions, you'll notice here that we have witness lines which are projecting down to the elements. This means sometimes that the witness lines will travel through the object itself. Of course, I can manually edit these just by dragging these witness lines, but there's quite a few to do. So what I'm going to do now is create a new dimension style to suppress these witness lines. To do this, I can select the string of dimensions, and in the properties palette here, you can see currently I'm using this linear dimension style arrow 3/32 Arial. Let's select Edit Type. I'm going to duplicate this dimension style, and after the text Arial, I'm going to type in here, no witness lines. If we have a look down through some of the properties here, you can see that we have witness line control. Currently, this is set to gap to element. I'm going to change this to fixed to dimension line, and you can then see the fixed witness length line will be 3/32 of an inch. Let's go ahead and select OK. You can now see that all of our dimensions have changed and the witness lines are now a fixed length. To apply that to other dimensions, for example over here, I can select the string of dimensions, go to the Properties palette, and in the Type selector, you'll now notice that we have different styles. So here I can use my no witness line style, and that quickly edits all of the witness lines to that fixed length.